Okay, Julio, let's start with the grip because I noticed something of an open club face at the top of your backswing. So let's get this knuckle just a shade more under. I mean, we want this knuckle right here to be at 3 o'clock. So if the top of this grip is 12, then on this side would be 3 o'clock, I think. I'm not sure left-handed, but anyway, it's 3 or 9. And then your left elbow here, point that to your hip or something way in there. Pardon my noisy pet bird here, but he's a bit noisy in the mornings. Okay, so then on the right side, I would go a little bit stronger as well. I can see 2 knuckles. We should go for 3. Okay, so now, okay, so key thing is club face position. I think it's really too open. So you start off with a little bit of an inside. You see the bit of a roll here, and then at the top, the club face is really pointed too much toe down, and we want it a little bit more closed, and that will help you a lot because if you flip and you've got a closed face, you will probably hook it pretty bad, and that will only help to encourage us to hold off a little bit more, which is kind of what drive holding is all about. So that's a huge issue. But then, okay, then the rest of this comes back to this. So what you're doing is starting off with a lot of weight on the front foot. So you can kind of see by these kind of poorly drawn lines that you have weight that's already preset on the front foot. So again, if you're presetting everything on the front, wouldn't you expect that you'd be there at impact and maybe even pushing farther to the left? So the idea is to actually set up with more lower body weight on that right leg. So this one's a lot, sorry, it would be your left leg for lefties. Your left leg should be much more vertical than the front one. So let's get you back here to begin with. And then from there, when you take it back, be careful because you see what you just did there. You went even more to the front leg. So you've got everything here, in my opinion, and then that's when you cannot go anywhere. I mean, it would be very unathletic for you to go from being front side loaded to actually reverse your weight shift and move it back to your back foot because that's where you need to be. So you're just using your natural athleticism to get to the front foot, but it's just that you started off way too far. So basically what we got to do is get into your back leg. Start down. This is called LPT, or left pelvic, sorry. For a lefty, this would be right pelvic tilt, where the tilt is going to be down this way as at the start of the downswing. So you want to create some kind of a tilt. It's actually, this will be a better line. And then from there, you want to keep this hip flexed. So the front hip stays flexed. If we were to look at it at an angle, it's bending while this one is extending, and that's creating this kind of rotation that we all want to have because that is basically what's creating the power. For you, going to the front foot so much will actually stop this from staying flexed. It actually ends up being more extended, and then that's where you get more of a stall. You can't rotate, and then you have to flip. So key is you've got pretty good lag. The face is too open though, and then try as you can. It's going to be hard because the rotation simply isn't there to support the motion. Okay, so here on takeaway, I have a Hunter Mahan practice swing drill on YouTube. If you could look for that, this is what I would do for your backswing. Now again, if you started off with this elbow pointed more back here rather than straight at the camera, it would do quite a bit for you already, because you know this rolling is the move to actually get the, for you, left arm is going to externally rotate, or it's going to fold and go inward early. That would be, I guess, a big sort of a opening for the club face. Okay, so here's Duffner. This would be a better image for what you want to do. It's to keep the club face feeling like it's pointing at the ball. Yes, there's some rotation there, but then it's not really changing a lot, whereas yours gets really too open. Okay, starting down. Okay, so at this point we kind of need a little bit more frames to actually truly understand this. But if we were to just kind of stop right about here at this waist high, one of the keys to you being able to hold the lag even longer is not allowing this arm to straighten as much as it's done so far. So if you can see what Duffner is doing is more of in the second half of that downswing here is to keep this left arm glued to the chest, as you can see here, and the right arm bent, and that will feel like you're just keeping your arms really close together. And then you can also see that if I was to draw this, so left elbow to right elbow, well, let me draw it in a different color. Left elbow to right elbow, you can see the right elbow's lower. Yours would be higher. Okay, so again, that's just indication that the elbow's slowing down, and then you're throwing arms at it, right? So that's, again, not so powerful, because we're gonna flip it too, right? So the idea is if we can hold this right elbow in the front and in a bent position for a bit longer, then at impact, you definitely can get your hands ahead to stop the flip, right? So this angle here versus everybody who does flip it, right, the arm gonna look more straight. So the more angle in the sorry, not right arm, that's left arm. The more angle, the better. And then we can get into more things with the lower body. Again, once we're on the back leg, it's called marching move, and again I have a video of that on YouTube, where at the start of the downswing, instead of pushing yourself to the target, then we're going to actually start by the marching. Okay, so the marching is along with this pelvic tilt that we want, right? We're going to tilt this down. The first move is right after you plant the foot, right? This front foot of JB touches ground, immediately bending the back knee, lifting the heel, and the front knee starts to straighten. Again, that's rotation without effort. What everybody is doing is they're fighting themselves to rotate because they're so busy going laterally, right? So you see how your back leg is really straight and it's pushing you to the front leg. Okay, totally the opposite, right? Instead of just, again, lifting the heel, bending this knee forward toward the camera rather than you're bending it inward toward the target. And that means then that this one starts to support all the weight again, which just means now how does it straighten while supporting weight? It can't. So we want to get this sort of coupled movement of a bent knee and a straightening knee, right? So this one bent, this one straight, that we start to create rotation without any effort. And of course, the other part of it is you have to be more 50-50 in your weight distribution. So you don't want to get weight to the front foot. Now it's bad if you flip plus have your weight on your back foot. I totally understand that. But then you'll never get out of that flip if you don't keep your weight back and rotate better. So there may be this kind of a learning curve and getting the hang of this. But really, if you don't rotate, there's almost no way you're going to be able to stop this flip, right? So in a way, we got to kind of bite the bullet, and maybe that's why it's good for you to learn all this stuff while you're busy in school and can't practice as much, and do a lot of these movements indoors, because this is going to help more than probably hitting balls and seeing, okay, when I keep my weight back, I hit it fat, or you know what I mean? It's sort of like it's a negative feedback loop rather than something that's positive. So do a lot of stuff in front of the mirror and then try to get the hang of this, and then you'll be okay. Anyway, I hope that's not too overwhelming, but again, the plan is fix grip, get face angle better, get loaded a little on the right, on your back leg at the start and address, and get more onto the back leg, and then stay 50-50 at impact, so we can start to use the marching move and rotate yourself. And then you can deal with the back elbow, staying more bent and getting more in front at maybe this point right here, right? If it's already there, there's no way you're going to flip it. That's almost 70 degrees held in terms of the lag and the shaft lean. There's no way you're going to actually flip it from there. Well, maybe you could if you use your left hand to flip it really hard, you could. But generally speaking, once we're there, we don't have to worry about a thing.